Back up. Sorry about that. We are back up now.
Thank you. My name is Shauna Hopper, 504 Roundhouse Drive. Tonight, I just want to talk to you a little bit about our frustration with the state for you as City Council. The state continues to use you guys as their scapegoat. Last week, Billings Gazette printed an article stating that we have met twice with Laurel City Council. They're considering their meetings with you guys their public statement on December 3rd and January 20th. Those are not meetings. You guys did not get to interact with them. Those are public statements. So they are trying to put the blame on you guys. I hope things like this frustrate you as much as they frustrate us, because we're here trying to make our community better, which I truly believe you guys are as well. But for them to not take accountability is unacceptable. I did write a letter yesterday in regards to the meeting that took place in Helena, and I would like to read that to you guys. I would like to commend Charlie and Dan for their myths versus facts slides yesterday. However, if they are really myths, why are they sitting in front of you all explaining these things and continuing to ignore the communication requests from the City of Laurel residents and the Laurel City Council? I would certainly think correcting the myths with the residents of Laurel will directly impact and certainly improve the actual communication of the residents where it's being placed. During Mr. Brereton's slide at approximately 10:48, he is discussing the myth of relocating other facilities. In the same breath, he states, large acreage that we don't plan to use right now. That indicates that there will be growth of this facility. What nature? We don't know, but it will grow. Moving to Mr. Villa's slide presentation, I would like to address his statement at approximately 10:51 about his duties with the Board of Investments following the law as the developer. Although Mr. Villa may not be breaking the law, it is certainly not ethical practice to break the protocol set forth by the state and the BOI for applications of the Montana State Criminal Forensic Facility or Behavioral Health Facility, whichever they are calling it today.
We have somebody a minute? Okay.
Yeah.
You can have what I had left, Mayor.
Thank you, Forrest. Thank you, David. This is fact, not fiction or myth. Laurel did not complete the application process that the other communities completed by the deadline. Laurel CAO Markey Guard only submitted a letter of interest after multiple messages from Mr. Villa, which included Mr. Villa offering to buy him beer if he submitted the letter today. This is fact. This is public records documented that have been released. Law-breaking, maybe you're not, but unethical and dishonest, absolutely. During the slide presentation, it was also discussed that there will be no unsightly fencing or razor wires, only architectural perimeters. Do these individuals have outdoor time? How will you ensure that an architectural perimeter is secure and safe? As for Mr. Villa's comment about Laurel's water and community wanting only a residential neighborhood over this facility, the fact is we know Laurel cannot sustain growth of any sort at this time. Our current water tower needs to be repaired, and that cannot happen without a new water tower and a complete overhaul of our water and sewer system. Sorry. Additionally, I would like to discuss Mr. Villa's lies. Yes, I said lies. During his slide about the press release and communications with Laurel City Council, the myth he stated was Laurel City Council learned of the state's buy-sell agreement from the press, not the BOI. Fact, the City Council was briefed during the public comment on January 20th, the first meeting after the buy-sell agreement was signed. However, news outlets he states news outlets reported on this agreement after the fact. In fact, Q2 broke the news on the buy-sell agreement on January 19th, so the press did release the information prior to the public comment statement from Mr. Villa on January 20th to Laurel City Council in true form, just like he did on November 28th and December 3rd. Lastly, I would like to thank them for meeting with me today, since that is what we now call public comment. Public comment statements on December 3rd and January 20th do not constitute meetings with City Council that you continue to state trying to place blame on others. In conclusion, please quit ignoring our community and our City Council. If you want to set the record straight between your myths and facts, the only way to do that is through communication. We as a community, Laurel Cared and Laurel City Council have sent emails requesting communication from both Mr. Villa, Mr. Brereton, and Governor Gianforte in regard to his December 4th statement. We will not put it someplace it's not wanted. The only communication is 2 public statements from you at City Council meeting where no discussion can be asked. Again, these public comments have both been after press release information. That is not transparent and that is not communicating. Do better, represent Montana, and be better leaders. So in closing, I just want you guys to know that they are trying to put the blame on all of you and saying that they've communicated with you and been open and honest. So I hope your blood starts to boil like the rest of ours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Fogley, 306 East 4th Street. I want to thank the council for your letter that you sent to the state and to other lawmakers in the executive branch. I think that made a big difference. It definitely made the bureaucrat, Dan Villa, start trying to cover his tracks and create his myths versus facts presentation that he made yesterday, which was very disappointing. If you haven't watched it, go on and watch it. Very disappointing. How did we get to this point? We got to this point because of a stupid letter that the state requested. We wouldn't even be here because only 2 cities applied. Only 2 cities applied. Laurel didn't apply, but Laurel did in fact apply because that's exactly what Dan Villa wanted when he requested of the CAO a letter, because he knew why he was requesting it. It was for a pseudo application, and that there had to have been talks ahead of that as to why that letter was wanted. And there was communication between the mayor and the CAO showing that. But how much due diligence was really done before that letter was sent? Do we invite like somebody into our homes to watch our kids before we know anything about them? So I hope that the CAO did a big amount of due diligence in finding out what this is going to cost the city. And I'm going to do some myths versus facts now. How about a myth that the city of Laurel is going to be just fine once this goes in out there? The fact is that I'll bet within 15 years, either the city council is going to start voting a lot of raises on city services and driving a lot of our seniors basically out of their homes or into public housing or something that they can afford. Because there's nowhere else for us to grow and expand our facilities and our utilities. This place is going to be a dam. If it goes in out here, it's going to be a dam for growth, and Laurel will not be able to grow out there. And if it does, it will be some commercial structures or something, but residential is where it's at for the city. It's kids in our schools. It's people that will buy products. It's people that will visit our restaurants. And that's what we need as a city. Sure, we're going to end up becoming a city of the first class, but that's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, the city's going to go bankrupt. So mark my words today that within 20 years, at some point, you're going to have to raise city wages or you're going to lose your employees. You're going to have to raise rates of utilities. You're going to have to raise everything to support everything because the cost of everything that you have to buy is going up. And if we don't grow and we can't expand our tax base and we can't expand our utilities base and the people that pay for them, then it's going to have to come from somewhere. And that's going to be the people that reside within the city. And if that doesn't go up, their costs go up. And we're going to drive those people that can't afford it out of their homes. And you know who that is. That's our senior citizens right now. And we want to be able to pass levies. We want to be able to pass bonds. We want our schools to thrive. We want our city to thrive. And putting something that will not pay for all of our services, I guess they'll pay for our services, but minutely compared to what they're going to use. But they're not going to pay any taxes. They're not going to pay for our road improvements or anything like that. So I really want you to take that into account. Our growth policy, let's stop calling it a policy because really it's just a wish list because it doesn't have any teeth. Right now, you know, with the Northwestern Energy issue and it's at the Supreme Court right now, it's really, Laurel took a position where we have some say in what happens a mile outside of our city limits. And really, as a city of the second class, it should be almost 2 miles. But we were taking that position, and the county took an opposite position, and the county won in Judge Fear's court. Right now, it's at the Supreme Court. I hope the city will take the position that it had before, that yes, we need jurisdiction out there. We need jurisdiction and authority on lands that we're going to grow into, and we should be working with the county on that. But right now, it's mute because of a court decision in Billings based on that Northwestern Energy. The Supreme Court probably will not rule on the zoning issue because it's so broad. They like to keep things narrow. So they're probably going to make some kind of ruling on just a DEQ issue, and they're not going to rule on the zoning and it's controversial. But if they don't do that, then what happens? Judge Fear's ruling stands, and that hurts the city. But there's a lot of things that the city has control of that the county does not. The county can't just put a subdivision in and expect us to cover all the costs for emergency services and everything else that needs to support them as a part of being our neighbor just over the city limits. So make sure that you fight for that. Have your attorney fight for that. Have your attorney send briefs up to the Supreme Court that are in support of your position. You don't have to take the position of the court in Billings. Take the position that's best for Laurel and have her write briefs to the Supreme Court that supports that. If she can't do that, then maybe you need to look at a different attorney. But there needs to be, can I have some time? Okay. Thank you. Is that okay? Okay. But I think that there's another myth is that our planning department will be just fine without Forrest. What the fact is, he has so much wealth of knowledge and information and history with this town that for you to go out and find somebody with that will do a good job for our city at this moment in time is going to really hurt us in fighting this facility outside the town. You need somebody that knows our policies, knows our ordinances, and knows our planning and the history of our planning in order to move us forward. And losing Forrest would be a major blow to this city in the planning area. Our CAO's not here tonight, so I'm not going to really address too much about that. I wish he was here. But I haven't heard it, and it hasn't been brought up, but what due diligence was done before the city or before the state was invited to Laurel? Before the state was told, hey, we've got some great property for you out here. Well, if we don't have any control over county land, why is a city administrator who is part of the planning department encouraging the state to move in hopes of future annexation? And city services, because city services were talked about, annexation was talked about. If we don't have any control of that out there, which is kind of the position that is being taken right now, why are we offering it in the first place? Why are we looking at that in the first place? I don't know why a letter like that was sent. And I look at things from a business perspective, and I don't necessarily look at things from any other perspective. But from a business perspective, that is a huge loser on the west side of town. That facility coming in is going to be one of the biggest losses for this town. And if you defeat it, it'll go down in history. This will be a major turning point for the city if you defeat that. But if we can't defeat it, you're going to have to figure out how to grow north, and hurry up and figure out how to grow north, because we're not going to be able to afford to continue raising staff wages, keeping costs low in this town. If everything grows up around us, they all come here. They use our roads. They use our stores. They beat down the pavement, beat down the sidewalks, put signs on our trees. An issue for another day. But you'll notice that there's been a sign on the tree by the theater for almost 7 months now, a garage sale sign. I'm just leaving it up because I'm tired of taking them down. I just want to see how many months it will stay there, because our code enforcement officer has to drive by that thing probably every day, and nobody's doing a thing about it. It's got the people's address on it, what they're selling, and it's still there. It's on the tree, and maybe somebody will take care of it, but I'm rambling. So please, please do what you can for our city. It's our city. The future of our city is at stake. And the state doesn't care about us. They're not coming down here and meet with us. They're supposed to be our servants and our public leaders, and they're there because we put them there, and I guess we're going to have to take them out. So thank you. Take them out by not voting for them, not by another.
Thank you.
Name's Dave Mesker, 821st Avenue Laurel, lifetime citizen. I have, my pleasure, whatever you want to say, I acquired some property. The individual that owned the property, and I'm cleaning it up now. All right, upon this individual, I found his rap sheet. He's been in and out of these facilities. They drug him up, sent him home. Okay, this has been going on for 25 years. I found his rap sheet, cleaning this mess up. Upon his last release, I found his meds that the police department gave him to take to keep him calm. No one there to take care of him. He didn't take his drugs. He goes off the deep end. He destroyed every picture in his house. He decides to board it up, gonna light it on fire. Okay, thank God to our fire department. Upon me cleaning this place up, 2 propane tanks, 1 on each side of the kitchen. We're talking 50 feet from our school. If that would have went off, the places both sides that have kids and possibly the school would have blown all the windows out of that school. This man has been released. He's back in jail again. I found his drugs. I don't know nothing about drugs, but they look pretty intense to me, something to do with dementia and some other stuff. Handed by the courts or whatever to take. No one's there to his brother died. No one takes care of him. He went out, like I said, took off the deep end. Gonna burn down the house. Thank God, like I said, the fire department. I'm cleaning this mess up. So it's kind of what I'm saying is you're going to release these people back. Who's going to babysit them? Are they the ones that are going to burn up their house? He destroyed his mailbox, everything. Took a claw hammer to everything in it, a knife to his own dad's hat. He's been going through this for 25 years. So that's what I'm saying. And I do have property down the road from where this place is going to be. I don't want it. I don't want to see any of our farm ground being tore up and put into a building that we're not going to get anything out of. We need our farm grounds. And another thing I want to bring up is that it seems to me that Galen, Warm Springs, or prison, even the mental hospital in Thermopolis, Wyoming, I don't see any of them towns flourishing and making money. In fact, they're broke. Is that what's gonna happen to us? Because that's what I see. Thank you for my time.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, council members, Steve Crum, 249 24th Avenue West. I just want to say is, and I'm pretty sure you guys all agree with me, that Forrest has done this city a great job. He's informed a lot of us on what the laws are, what the rules are, how to follow them. And I think it would be just sad for this community if we didn't work with him and keep him working with us. Because he has really done us a fantastic job. So, thank you. That was it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anyone? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I breathe for a second? Hi, my name is Miranda Lynn Ness Clark McCann Fox Black. I'm a Laurel resident. I went to middle school and high school here, graduate. And I'm not going to tell you if I'm for or against right away. Thank you for having me, council and mayor. My address is 406 West Avenue near the South Pond. Laurel High School is interesting, and my senior year I had a psychosis. I have been in the Montana system for psychiatric for 29 years. It'll be 30 in November. I have 3 degrees, one in business management, one in diagnostic ultrasound, and one in another medical thing. So 3. I have 2 boys, 15 and 18, Mitchell and Evan, and they have watched me tumble through this system. But the ironic thing is in 2007, I was hired as an AmeriCorps Vista for the City of Billings Community Development, Mayor's Committee on Homelessness, and I worked as a Vista for 2 years to understand why we have so many homeless people here. Well, it's a hub, and when you put food out for cats, the cats come to eat it, and it should be streamlined. And good and bad, there's a lot of good with the bad along the way. But for me, it's really been a life's journey, and I'm a writer. I live off a disability, which isn't much, and I'm trying to get a part-time job with Voc Rehab and turn my life around, but I got 2 broke down cars, and my outfit today is because I just got out of the Billings Clinic today again. These are their scrubs. I was kindly given a shirt to wear by my friend Les back there, not to embarrass him. When I was in prison for my mental health for texting a man after a restraining order, I went to prison. I was in prison for 11 months. For trespass on the Billings Clinic. It's been hard. I've been in and out of the jail, and I hadn't been in trouble until I was 34 and fell in love with someone and texted him too much. And I have bipolar psychosis, schizoaffective. That means I go in and out of it, bipolar depression. And I can act normal. I can sometimes breathe when I talk, I guess. But when I was in prison, I drew some things in my journal about how I would want a mental health facility to be, not like Warm Springs, where I've been 7 times. It would be an open campus. There would be fourplexes, there would be horses, there would be water, there will be a library. There will be psychologists that will talk one-on-one. And I imagined a campus of like, that's what I thought this was supposed to be the first time I paid attention to it. However, being said, I appreciate Mrs. Waddell's comments. I appreciate everyone's comments. I had to go to the bathroom, so I left for a minute because I didn't know how long you could take, but I'm not going to vote. I don't vote, but I just wanted to say my piece today at the city council. And I recommend more help for the people that are mentally ill in different types of way. I'd love to be a part of that in some way. And like I said, I need a job. I was on the mayor's committee for homelessness for 2 years, volunteering. And when I did that, I mapped out 50 service providers in the Billings area in an Excel spreadsheet, which was turned into a map by the next vistas. So I think we can do this if we all pull together. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Think we're all, is anybody else there? Shauna wants to speak?
I don't really have anything to say. Cheryl Hill was typing in a message. She wanted to make sure that everybody knows that we need forest in our community on all aspects, from her working with him on Laura, and everything that he does. He is a vital part of making this community successful and growing it in a better way. So Cheryl just wanted to make sure that she had her voice heard for not being here in his support.
Thank you. We have anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to scheduled matters. We have a resolution number R26-07, a resolution of the City Council approving unconditional approval of the preliminary plat of Laurel Industrial Park second filing subdivision.
It's a mouthful, isn't it, Mayor? Laurel Industrial Park Phase 2, second filing, I misspeak. We talked about this at workshop. We had the planning board meeting. Real quick summary. It's a 4-lot subdivision. The lot sizes are consistent with the zoning. The proposed uses are consistent with the zoning, and the conditions recommended by the planning board, with the exception of one that we talked about last time, are consistent with what we would see for development within the city of Laurel that meets with our adopted rules and regulations. The planning board recommendation on the construction of sidewalks, believe me when I say, the individual member who made that motion, I believe in my heart of hearts he meant well, but it happened so fast. Motion to amend, it was seconded, vote. I didn't get a chance to digest it. I didn't get a chance to talk to them. It was done, and maybe they wanted to go home. It's all good. Here's the reality. I talked about the inequities at workshop. Example, and I didn't think about this until I was driving down today. Let's assume that this subdivision gets platted. I buy lot 1 and I want to build. The strict reading of that condition, which I believe the planning board's intent was the developer builds the sidewalk. That's not what the condition says. The condition says when the first lot's developed, that lot developer builds all the sidewalk for everybody else. So in that case, which could and probably would happen, me on lot 1, when I build, because I chose to, I bought it, would like to think I had a purpose behind buying it and wanting to put it to use. Not only do I have to build my sidewalk, but I have to build Irv's and Jody's and Richard's, because they buy the lot and they waited. But I had to build all of their sidewalks. That's not right. In fact, I submit that violates several court cases out of the United States Supreme Court. We're imposing an exaction on somebody that is beyond the impact of their system. That's illegal. We cannot do that. Again, I asked the city attorney to draft the recommendation for condition 6, reverting that back to what our rules and regulations accommodate. I can guarantee you, if the mayor wants to build on lot 2, he isn't going to get his certificate of occupancy until he builds a sidewalk. That's our ordinance. Our subdivision regulations give us the authority to require sidewalks. We're going to require the developer to pay for the full design so we know what we're going to get. But when I build my segment. When Richard builds, he builds his segment. When Irv builds, when Dave builds, when I build, we're not putting all of that burden onto one person. The original condition 6 ensures that that happens, and we have the tools to make that happen. Again, the recommendation, I understand, it was well-intended. It's just not something we can enforce. It's not right. Anything else the council would like me to tell you about the development? Or if there were questions from the public, I'd be glad to answer those. Usually saying it meets our zoning, it meets all of our other criteria. There's not much to see here on this, council. So I would answer questions.
Questions? Council President Canopy.
Thanks, Forrest, and thank you, Mayor. So the resolution is R 26-07. That's the proposed. Now, we're proposing to change that plat back to the old way and not take the recommendation we did from the Yellowstone County City Planning Board. Am I correct?
Correct. I checked with Brittany before the meeting. The resolution before you this evening meets with what I have recommended. And for the reasons I recommended it, and I provided the council at workshop a copy of your authority to do so.
Thank you very much to clarify.
Thank you, council member.
Any other questions? Do we have any public comment? What? Oh, can we get a motion?
You have to have a motion first.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve resolution number R 26-07, please.
Second. Motion made by President Canopy, seconded by Councilmember Wilkie. Now we have public comment.
Chris Fogley, 306 East 4th Street. I definitely agree with Forrest. I think it'd be a waste to build that sidewalk, especially with all the construction that needs to go in and out of that and any heavy equipment that you'd be moving across. They'll just be replacing that sidewalk. I know it'd be nice for everybody to have a sidewalk. And since that is in the TIF district, I would like the city to at least try to do something. I know you've been kind of waiting to see what happens with West Railroad in with BNSF, but that area definitely needs sidewalks. I see people walking on that all the time who live downtown and have to walk to Walmart, and it's dangerous at times. But I just would like to bring that up. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Any council discussion?
I think I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. I misunderstood. I just have a community announcement to make. Heart and Soul, Winnie and Nick and myself held a fundraiser. Oh, yeah.
We need to fit. Oh, I thought you were going to comment on this. We're still on the resolution. Sorry, Shauna.
Oh, I thought it said council, you said council discussion.
Yeah, that was.
That meant, okay.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Passes 8-0. We have no items removed from the consent agenda. Shauna, we now have community announcements.
Thank you. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to let everybody know that Heart and Soul, Nick and Winnie and I held a fundraiser for the Laurel Emergency Services on February 14th, where we were able to raise over $8,000 for our first responders. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chris Fogley, 306 East 4th Street. I know it's been talked about tonight, but I just want to make an official community announcement that we do have a town hall meeting on Monday, March 16th, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at the Laurel High School Auditorium, 203 East 8th Street. And I would like to encourage all of you to attend, but this isn't just about opposing the forensic psychiatric facility. This is about our townspeople getting to hear kind of what our city is about, and kind of how some of the processes work. A lot of people don't know. And I know that our school's going to make some presentations. Yes, we are going to be talking about the forensic mental health or forensic psychiatric center, but it's also an opportunity for the city's departments to speak to what they do and kind of the importance of that and how that impacts its residents. So, and those that are outside the city as well. So thank you.
I don't know if this is an announcement. Do I need my name and address for this one? I just want to piggyback off of Chris's and say we've sent out a lot of invites to get information to present at this town hall. One thing that we haven't done yet that we would really love is information from all the council members on your history, like how you got involved with or what made you want to be a city council member, and like what you do, and probably more that I can't think of, but we are hoping to just let the community know what everyone does and why, and how they contribute, so that moving forward, as things happen, everyone understands better how and why is all, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more community announcements?
Just want to remind everybody that the Chamber of Commerce is putting on their pub and putt on Saturday. So teams of 4, $25. Wear green. You don't get pinched.
Thank you. Anyone else? Moving on to council discussion. Councilmember McKay.
Thank you. Just wanted to remind everyone that we have a Public Works meeting on Monday, the 16th. And I have worked with all of the members of that committee, and we've rescheduled just by a half an hour. Typically that meeting is at 6, but we are going to go at 5:30 in order to kind of accommodate anyone that wants to try and get to the town hall at a reasonable amount of time. So Public Works, Monday, the 16th at 5:30.
Anyone else? Moving on to mayor updates. I just have one. Forrest, I'm not going to make you go. I'm not going to demand you to go. But if you decide to go on your own, we will pay you. I think it's necessary that you be there and answer some questions for these people. But that's just my thought. Okay, you do. You people get a hold of him. Okay, unscheduled matters. Councilmember McKay.
Thank you. I wanted to revisit the issue of the fees for the records request that we talked about last week in workshop. From the beginning, this process of the records request has felt like there's no solid protocols or procedures in place for how those things happen. And for me personally, after years in human services and as a current business owner, I know that any entity can live or die by its procedures. Those protocols, they're a roadmap in all manner of situations, and when followed, they're a safety net when you find yourself in volatile territory. From last week's meeting, it seemed like there is not a solid established protocol for ensuring that each records request receives the same scrutiny in relation to Laurel's schedule of fees. I think it was kind of stated that, you know, if Kelly's not kept in the loop, the bills may not be sent out. And I think that's just concerning. So given the situation that we're in, I'd like to ask that the city ensures that there is a procedure in place that is strictly followed to avoid this scenario in the future. And I would like to make a motion that the city waive the fee for the consolidated records requests that was made by the Laurel Care Group on Friday, March 6th, that was emailed to us. And with the intent that any further record requests after this consolidated request that we received on March 6th is met, that any further request be subject to the city's schedule of fees. Included in this motion, I would also like to recommend a timeline of no more than 10 business days to provide those records. I've made a motion.
I will second it.
Motion made by Councilmember McKay, seconded by Councilmember Naylor. Do we have that yet? That's okay. Motion has been made and seconded. Any council discussion? Public input? I did that backwards, but go ahead.
I just want to say thank you. This has been so much work and it's really gratifying to be recognized or even considered. So
Anybody else? Okay, the motion, sorry.
Chris Vogely, 306 East 4th Street. Thank you for that. I just would like the city to really review who needs to review these. I know that you want your attorney to review them for your benefit. It's not for the requester's benefit. And so when you're trying to come up with a procedure, I know a routing slip works very good because then everybody knows the timeline and who's seen it and who hasn't. But the best thing would be that if your attorney has to review things, she's the most expensive or he's the most expensive, whoever the attorney is going to be in the future, to please narrow that to what actually needs to be reviewed and redacted. And if the determination is that something doesn't need attorney review, which I know that everything has been sent to the attorney, just be mindful of that because it's very hard for us to afford a records request, and it becomes almost impossible to pay for that if you have your attorney reviewing it for any amount of time. So if your attorney does have to review that for your benefit and for your liability, maybe think about not including that as a cost for the person requesting the records. Thanks.
Thank you. Did I hear somebody else? Oh, okay. The motion has been made to waive the fees from March 6th. And
Yes, to waive the fees from the consolidated request of March 6th. And then to establish a timeline of no more than 10 business days to provide those records.
thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Passes 8-0. We will get on that. Any other unscheduled matters? Adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to adjourn the council meeting.
Second. Motion made by Councilmember Naylor, seconded by Councilmember Wilkie. Public comment? You want to stay longer? Council discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.